All right, welcome everyone to this Thursday night's edition of Southern Woods and Waters, and we hope you're having a great time out there tonight. A little bit of rain, a little bit of humidity. It always adds up to a great springtime evening. Hey, tonight we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We've got several guests that's going to come on here tonight, but one in particular that I'm really proud to have on the show, and just an amazing story that he has to tell. But it's I teased it on Facebook saying that it's a deal, or no, how did I put it? I forgot how I said it now. It was why we got him on the show is because it's a benefit worthy of a cause, is what I said
exactly
it was.
right.
A benefit worthy of a cause. And ladies and gentlemen, it is that. Tonight we have on the show with us, along with Dayton Blair, and you've seen Dayton Blair on here many times with us, but along with Dayton is Hunter Carmichael. And let's widen out and introduce. Hunter, thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Now, Hunter, dude, you and your wife, Brandy, have gone through something that most parents never want to go through.
It's your worst nightmare, and we've been living it out. It's
well, you're walking it out day by day.
Day by day, literally hour by hour.
Hour by hour,
and it's one of the hardest things that I never wish on any parent. You know,
anywhere.
But,
I'm the same way, and I tell you, I've followed you through Facebook. And I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of one of those Facebookers that just kind of lay back and see what happens. You know, if you need me, I'm there, but I'm not going to get in your way.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we got you on the show tonight because you lost your 2-year-old son.
Yeah, a year and a half.
A year and a half old son.
Yep.
And he choked.
Yep, sure did.
And that's something, you know, not many people even think about anymore.
I wouldn't think about it. And you know, he had a mouthful of teeth. I mean, I wouldn't have thought twice about, here's your food.
Yeah.
Have at it, you know, because, I mean.
Well, it's not like you're handed an instruction book when you have a kid anyway.
Exactly.
You kind of have to do it on your own there for a while.
He was good, man. He was. You know, we were still, he was at a point.
But he was in a restaurant. Y'all were in a restaurant.
We were in the food court of the Cool Springs Mall down in Franklin. And we were headed to take him to see Santa Claus and stop by Chick-fil-A to, you know, to get the Chick-fil-A there in the food court to get some food. And, you know, he was still at a stage we would break up his food in little pieces, and we did that just like normal. I mean, it was a routine thing. My wife owns a store there just by the food court called The Cutest Little Shop. Her and her sisters own it.
Right.
And, you know, so this was 2 or 3 weeks, or 2 or 3 times a week we did this. This was a routine thing for us. We ordered the same thing off the menu he always ate, you know, and we loved Chick-fil-A. That's our favorite restaurant, I mean, you know, and it's just a freak thing that, oh gosh, man, it's literally been a nightmare. And
well, you said, I even read to the Facebook post that you had law enforcement officials, EMTs, everybody that was coming around were praying over him and everything.
I mean, there was a doctor there, a surgeon. There was a pediatric nurse there. They're all, you know, offering their help, and we're begging for their help, and they did everything they could. And, you know, when you're going through something like that, you think the whole time that it's going on that it's going to be okay because the professionals are there.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. It's just a little choking. I choked when I was 5 years old, and my father saved my life, you know. And I was thinking about that episode the whole time this was happening. And I was scared, but I thought, he's going to be fine, you know. And the last thing you want to hear is you get into the hospital and you hear the worst, you know. And it's been hard. It's just, I can't even explain it. The best way that I've explained it to people, you know, they say, how have you been? And I'm like, this has just been crazy because it don't seem real, you know. It just...
In talking to you and Brandy about that, they're talking about having a tournament, ladies and gentlemen. This tournament is the Max Size Tournament.
Max Size Bass Tournament.
Max Size Bass Tournament, and it's all about you know, raising awareness and everything. But is that something that you and Brandy would like to get behind? Because I found some statistics, my friend. There's a lot of choking goes on.
We have learned about a lot of choking.
Do you know what the #1 cause of choking is?
What's that?
The number one thing, shredded lettuce.
Shredded lettuce. You would never think that.
It blew my mind when I saw it, but shredded lettuce is one of the major things that people get choked on.
You would never think
You'd
it.
never
And
think
that's
that.
That's the thing is, and you know, when he was born, he was preemie. He was 6 weeks early, so we had to take a little class on, before we could take him home on choking and infant choking and stuff. They don't tell you how fast this is going to happen, and that's something that people definitely need to be aware of. I mean, it happened so quick. I mean, literally seconds. 1 minute it's like, oh my God, he's choking. The next thing, I know the professionals are working on him, and I mean, that quick, man. And so when you go through those situations where, you're having to, okay, I'm maybe taking a class or whatever on how to deal with someone choking, you need to know, they don't tell you in those classes how quick this is going to happen. You don't have time to think, okay, what did I learn in that class? You don't have time to think about that.
No.
And I have to...
And if you're the parent, you're already in a panic mode.
Yeah, and I have to, take my hat off to my wife because she was much quicker than I was. I panicked. And she was on it. She was good. And, but, we did everything we could. We really did. And
This is a life-changing event.
It really is.
And it has changed your life dramatically.
It really has. And, we're putting this tournament on. The whole goal, we started, actually, Brandy's sisters, she's got 3 of them. There's 4 girls and kind of a unique bunch. And they started the MAC Fund when all this was going on.
Yeah, I remember that now.
And so all of a sudden, a lot of people contributed. We had a lot of friends that stood behind us, and we were like, okay, what are we going to do with this? And we started thinking about it. And while we were in, we started out at Williamson Medical Center. They rushed him, once they got him stabilized, they rushed him to Vanderbilt Children's. And, we saw things in that hospital that would just blow your mind, what they were doing for these children.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It's a big deal.
Well,
and,
there used to be a Vanderbilt Children's Hospital tournament, benefit tournament.
I remember
Now
that's
gone away about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
But it used to be a lot of people. St. Jude's now still does the one in Memphis out there, and they had 630-something boats in there. I mean, it's huge.
Right.
But I can see this one
I would love
going that far. The reason, ladies and gentlemen, we even brought this up was because this family is an outdoor hunting, fishing family. They are outdoor oriented. They love their outdoors. And they kept posting all the time about outdoor activities. Well, when something tragic like this happens, I mean, we all got to come together as a family. And that's what this show is about tonight. We've got one tragedy, and in our thinking, I'm along with Hunter and Brandy. It can be a tragedy, yes, but we can find something glorious to come out of it.
You're right.
And this raising awareness for choking, for especially infant choking and things like that, and just to educate and help educate moms and dads, because like I said, you're not given a booklet when you leave the hospital going, you need to read up on this. No, it's not done. And so, so this is one way I think that you can really touch a lot of lives and make Mac proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to help those families that are in Vanderbilt Children's Hospital that are, I mean, some of them are stuck there for weeks at a time. And, if you can take them a meal or take them a change of clothes, I mean, that's huge.
That is huge.
And, give them a
And they
hotel.
come from all over the world, Hunter.
All over the world.
There's people from every country in this world.
I saw a 3-month-old baby in there whose parents were in California working, and they couldn't be with their child.
See? I saw my first at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. I saw my first artificial heart on a 1-year-old, and I filmed it. I was the first one allowed to film it on a 1-year-old, and it was heart-wrenching just to see it. But we've advanced that far.
Yeah.
All right? Speaking of advancement, we've got to go visit some of our sponsors right now and come back with more of Southern Woods and Waters. Be right back.